Welcome back to the TWTL podcast. I'm Chris Ferris, and this is a special edition of the TWTL podcast. We had been going through Jesus Messiah, but as it is currently still postponed, I wanted to take a break and go through something I've been devoting about in the last couple of weeks, and really the last month or so. It's something that has been sticking out to me and just keeps coming back around before this virus, and it's come back around in the midst of this virus. And I wanted to share it with you because I think it's going to be uplifting to you. And in this time of uncertainty, I wanted to build your faith, because we need faith more than ever right now. Because faith will see us through every situation, every battle, and every circumstance. Now, there's two primary places faith manifests itself. Now, there's different types of faith and different levels of faith and things, but I really believe that there's two places that faith manifests itself at. And the first place it manifests itself is when we see what God has done in our lives. In Psalm 18, David has finally been delivered from the hand of Saul. And he lists out a number of things that God was and is to him, and during that time period. He exhibits faith that manifests as a result of God's greatness, God's goodness, God's mercy, God's hand of provision on his life. This is a good thing, but it's only part of the equation. If we only remember to have faith in times of good, we're only living half-fulfilled lives. Now, that's better than unfulfilled. But what I want you to get to today, especially during this season that we're in, is to a place where you're living completely fulfilled lives. In order to do that, we need to look at Psalms 59. In this psalm, David is still being pursued by Saul. He's still being persecuted. He's still an outlaw. He's still on the run. He hasn't gotten his mountaintop experience yet. Still, he's able to call on the Lord in faith. In fact, some of the wording and some of the attitude that David has in this psalm is very similar to what he has in Psalm 18. He's talking in faith, believing, knowing that God will be the one who delivers him. Now, he might have had some past mountain experiences to encourage him, but at this moment, David was in a valley. He was in a low place. He was in a dark place. And he didn't have a great act of God in the here and now to sustain him. Yet he still trusted God. He still believed in God. And it's that kind of faith, the faith in the valley, that leads to a fulfilled life. During the Great Depression, many Christians faced a lot of dark and troubling times. They didn't know where their next meal was coming from. They were watching people starve to death. They were watching people's finances crumble. They were watching people lose their jobs. And it was during this time period that many Christians really came to rely on God for their provision. They trusted God through everything, through every trial and tribulation. And this lasted years. And when they came out of that, they had faith in Him that was beyond comparison. It was unshakable faith. It was unshakable in their walk with God. They had nothing else to rely on but God. And when they came out, they were unshakable, unmovable, never wayward in their walk with God. And that's what valley faith does. It builds you up in your walk to where you cannot be easily shaken, to where you cannot be easily moved or swayed. We are in a valley moment right now. Some of you, it's not just the sickness, it's not just having to stay home. Some of you lost your jobs. Some of you are taking a financial hit. Some of you are sick. Some of you have family members and friends that are sick. And the fact that we can't regularly meet as a congregation, that's troubling. But if we put our faith in God, We won't be shaken, moved, or swayed once we get through this. And we will get through this. We have to know that God's going to lead us through this, just as He's led us through so many other things. He is the God of all creation. He is the God on the mountain, and He's the God in the valley. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever, and He will deliver us of this season, and we'll come out even better on the other end. And if we trust in God, today, we will be fulfilled and shorn up for now and for the future. And it will make the next mountaintop experience all the greater, because we trusted God in this moment right now, that when we get to the mountain experience, when we get to the deliverance, when we get to the victory, we'll be able to see all of what God did because we had trusted Him when we didn't know how it was going to turn out. And we'll be blessed as a result of that. And our faith will be stronger as a result of that. And that kind of faith will be even more fulfilling, all the more revealing, all the more greater. I hope that this examination, brief examination of these two Psalms and these two seasons in David's life blesses you today. And I hope that if you can take anything from this, is don't lose faith in God just because things are rough right now. Believe in God, knowing that it's going to bless you down the road. And that when we come out of this situation, we're going to be more fulfilled than we've ever been fulfilled in God. And we're not going to be moved. We're not going to be shaken. We're going to press forward in Jesus Christ. I thank you for your time today. I hope that I can get back to you with some more recaps and some more things about Jesus Messiah in the near future. And we'll examine other areas of Christ's life that relate to Jesus Messiah in future videos. But I just wanted to bless you with this today, and I hope it does bless you. I know it's been blessing me. But until next time, I'm Chris Ferris. This is the TWTL Podcast. God bless, and keep searching.